All right, it's Steve Barris for Tech Media Planet. I'm here with the Gary Adcock. Gary, how's the show going for you so far?
Wow, is this an amazing time? I've already lost my voice and it's only Wednesday.
Right, well, it's about time. Yeah, so Gary, we're here to talk to you today about the KiPro or KiPro, or AJA and their ability to come up with acronyms that you pronounce as words or vice versa is outstanding. So
that's not my responsibility. That's not my responsibility. So.
All right, well, let's chat a little bit about it.
The KiPro is a revolutionary product. Think of it as an IOHD that records. It's the simple way to do it. Initially, it's going to be just for 60i cameras. As we keep going through the year, we'll be able to update to other processes and add 24p content, variable frame rate capture like the IO products do already. So that old Vericam, that old HDX 900, that old HVX 200 that you use, now you can get true 10-bit out of the pipe with it. With a product like this, you've got the ability to now use the manufacturer's preferred decompression methods. Everybody has some flavor of HDV, some flavor of compression, and all of them are different. And anyone who's ever tried to use Canon and Sony HDV in the same deck has a problem. It's difficult for them. So now we can make everything's unified. It's unified theory for post and playback. So you can capture out of the camera. Here we've got an EX1. You can capture out of the camera, capture directly out of the EX1, via HDSDI into the KiPro and immediately have ProRes 10-bit information at the highest quality from one of the better imagers in the market. But it's also for the HVX 200 users, because what a wonderful camera that is, and with 60+ thousand of them in the market, it gives everybody the ability to no longer use 8-bit DVC Pro HD, but take true 10-bit information decompressed in Panasonic's way out the component port.
Right, and so what can you actually connect to this camera? Obviously, you've got an HDSDI port, you said a component port.
As I turn it around here, we actually have everything. It has HDSDI, component, HDMI in and out. We also offer a composite tap, just so there's some way in and out. But the best part about it is LTC timecode. As everybody knows, as we go to smaller and smaller cameras in the RAW world and everything else, we've got to be able to have camera timecode. And being able to import that data means that I have a native file on my card, my disk, whatever my media is, my tape, and I have that same timecode in ProRes 10-bit. So I have my master archive, plus I have an even better copy of the original.
Right, very cool. So you're actually capturing all the data that's being generated on set, pulling it all into the KiPro, and then you're recording to what kind of media?
Well, we record to spinning disk, 250 gig spinning disk that comes with it. We also offer a 128 and 256 SSD, or solid state module. The price on those is actually pretty competitive. The 128 gig module is going to be under $700. That's pretty amazing when this thing ships later on. And the 250 drive modules are only going to be about $300. So very, very cost effective. One of the advantages of the KiPro is actually the ability to eject the drive mechanism and look at it. And as you see, it's got a high-end SATA connection, server-grade SATA connection for multiple insertions, but it's also got a FireWire port with power if needed. So now you have the ultimate portability. And two or three of these on a set is going to give you a lot of power, a lot of control, a lot of ways to do things. In addition to that, there's also Express Card 3.4 media. So you can actually build and design in the interface to have it fall over from one to the other. Added to that, AJA took great care in learning about the failures of FireWire-based capture systems. So if you lose power with the KiPro, it immediately truncates the file in one frame and makes a complete QuickTime movie. So no longer do you lose what you're doing if it fails in the middle of capture.
How can we actually record to this slot? Can we use S/S cards, standard memory? What exactly goes in?
Currently, it's only going to use Delkin Express cards. The problem with what we've run into is that Sony has proprietary chips on their cards, and we haven't yet secured the rights to that. But we've seen in the future we'll be able to do from lots of different kinds of Express card media. The 32 gig Express card is in the $400 range, so it's very, very cost effective. It's all about portability. It's about having smaller cards to do smaller takes, so you're managing the media on set. It's important for people to understand when you work in a tapeless world that you have to manage the content properly. Transferring a 250 gig drive on set sometimes can be time consuming, whereas going to 32 gig Express cards, you can actually do those transfers in roughly 10 minutes. And that's a great advantage to a fast working, fast moving set.
Very cool. Well, Gary, thanks very much for taking the time with us. Lastly, when is it going to be available, and about how much is it going to cost?
It's going to be available midsummer, sometime June, July timeframe. The suggested retail is $39.95. So very cost affordable for any kind of user. And it's going to save a whole lot of people a lot of wear and tear because that old camera is new again.
And that $39.95 includes a hard drive as well.
Sure it does. And at 12-volt power.
That's great, Gary. Well, thanks very much. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Steve.
For
Thanks,
Tech
everybody.
for Tech Media Planet, I'm Steve Barris.